Mention the Sottsdale Charros, and one immediately thinks of special events, spring baseball and trail rides. The 35 members of this elite group, however, do much, much more than just ride. For the past 36 years, these civic leaders have devoted thousands of hours to sponsoring spring training baseball with proceeds dedicated to the Sottsdale Boys and Girls Club, Sottsdale Community College scholarships, the Teacher and Student of the Year recognition program, and to approximately 30 other local charities. The man responsible for founding the Charros is the late Roland Feltman, a 1995 inductee to the History Hall of Fame, who believed that Sottsdale should be represented by a group similar to the Phoenix Thunderbirds, known for conducting the Phoenix Open Professional Golf Tournament. In March of 1961, Raleigh and a couple of friends, Pat O'Day, owner of a local printing company, and Dave Hallstrom, then manager of the Sottsdale Chamber of Commerce, met at Lulu Bell's. He related his idea to start an organization that would be dedicated solely to the promotion of special events in Sottsdale and the Valley. And as a result of that first meeting, the Charros became a reality on March 25th, 1961. Meetings took place around town at the Ramada Valley Ho, the Safari, Lulu Bell's, and the Red Dog Saloon, which is now the Pacific Fish Company, to discuss criteria for membership, decide on bylaws, and to select a name for the charitable group. It was decided that active membership would be limited to 35 individuals who exhibited a willingness to work unselfishly for the betterment of the community. They must be members of the Sottsdale Chamber of Commerce, under age 45, and agree to serve the community through Charros activities 200 plus hours a year for at least 7 years. After reaching the majority age, the civic leaders and businessmen would receive life status and keep right on supporting the Charros' diverse activities. The organizing members, Pat O'Day, elected president, Paul Ingebrigtsen, Fred Stressenreuter, Carl Plum, Rob McCampbell, Don Chambers, Dick Hausworth, and Dave Hallstrom met again on April 6, 1961, to consider an appropriate name. Suggested were Vaqueros, Caballeros, Roadrunners, Camels, Birds, Kivas, Wranglers, Brahmas, Ramrods, and Segundos, but none of the names received a favorable vote. Then one morning over coffee at Lute's Pharmacy, when the discussion turned to naming the newly organized group, Dan McKinney suggested Chatos, which means gentlemen riders in Spanish. That was it. The name rang a bell with the organizers. It reflected the area's heritage and tied in with the West's most western town image. Thus, Pat O'Day became the patron, the leader, a tradition which has been carried on since that time. The Chatos logo, or emblem, the shouting pheasant, also is distinctive. The organizers wanted something that would be as well recognized as the Phoenix Thunderbirds. They found what they liked in an Aztec art and history book. The art piece was turned into a graphic design by Elise Fansler and adopted by the group in September of 1961. As the organization matured, the Charros' chief emphasis became promotion of the city through sports events. These included the first ever PGA National Club Pro Championships in 1968, as well as 1969. The All-Arabian Horse Show, the American Airlines Golf Tournament, the Fiesta Bowl Marathon, and polo, just to mention a few. The two projects that now constitute the organization's main emphasis are spring training baseball through the year 2009 with the San Francisco Giants, and the annual Charros Trail Ride held each year. In the mid-1950s, a group led by local developer Bill Wyrick, Raleigh Feltman, Walker McEwen, and Camelback Inn founder Jack Stewart formed the Sottsdale Baseball Club. These men put up their own money to lease the present Sottsdale Stadium site. The farmland was turned into a stadium which was ready for the 1956 spring training season for the Baltimore Orioles. The baseball club sponsored spring training for the next 7 years, with the Orioles being replaced by the Boston Red Sox. This was 1965, the same year the Charros assumed full responsibility for spring baseball from the Sottsdale Baseball Club. In 1967, the Chicago Cubs had been enticed to call Sottsdale their spring headquarters, and baseball has been a Charros-operated fixture ever since. Since then, the Oakland Athletics and now the San Francisco Giants call Sottsdale their Cactus League spring training home. Since those early days, the Scottsdale Stadium and Indian Bend Wash training facilities have been expanded, renovated, and modernized several times. Scottsdale spring training baseball attracts more than 100,000 fans during the months of February and March each year. It has the highest attendance in the Cactus League and generates in excess of $10 million in revenue for the city and its merchants each season. The Charros 4-day trail ride was born with no special purpose in mind, but has turned into a pleasurable way to thank individuals who have supported the Charros and who have contributed to the community. In November 1962, 30 horsemen and guests went riding in the McDowells, whereas rides of the 1990s have grown to 150 riders, with locations changing from the Superstitions, Bartlett Lake, Patagonia, Flagstaff, and Wickenburg. What a dedicated group of gentlemen. This organization has raised millions for Scottsdale youth, while at the same time drawing nationwide attention to the West's most western town. Please join in welcoming the Sottsdale Charros and their patron, George Day, into the 1997 Scottsdale History Hall of Fame.